Happy 2023. Bob and Brian from LifeSafe Training with our January update. So we've got a bunch of cool stuff going on for the month. Once again, we had a fantastic year. We thank you. We appreciate if you took a class, if you watched a video, if you read an email, thanks very much. Feel free to always like and share this stuff too. We never say that. Everybody else on YouTube says that. Please like and share. Honestly, I don't care.
I really don't know if we're in.
I don't care
YouTube.
if you like it. I don't care if you share
I think we're in
it,
people's inboxes.
feel free. We're in your inbox. Brian, what's going on with your labs?
So yeah, we have the next year of labs starting up. So we got 12 people signed up, and that's very exciting. You can still come to labs if you want to, just to have a night of shooting and meet some other folks who might be your new shooting buddies. But those are starting up, so thanks for signing up for the full year. And our pistol permit classes are nearly sold out for 2 months. So thank you for your referrals, for your friends and family members. It's very helpful to us for sure to have those.
I don't know, there's maybe one opening, maybe two for February, and March is starting to fill. So we appreciate that you're doing that ahead of time. That's wonderful. On February 2nd in the evening, we're going to have a roundtable discussion. So the roundtable topic is called Make Training Real. We're going to lead the discussion, but we're going to leave it to you folks that participate. And by the way, this is an in-person only event. It's not over the internet. It's at the Hartford Gun Club in the main clubhouse, and it is from what time?
6 to 9.
6 to 9. There we go. 6 to 9. That's a lot of time to discuss kind of how to make training better, how to make it more applicable for you, and to hear what other people are doing for training, and kind of how they're training, what sort of drills they've created or find useful, things like that. So it is completely free, and we'd love to have you here. After that,
216 Pistol 1. This is a course we designed for brand new shooters to gain a little bit of competency and confidence about coming to the range. So we have heard a lot of folks from the various ranges that we teach at say, I'm just not comfortable going there. Can you go with me? Can you go with me? And we're happy to do that, but you need to get over it and get to the range yourself so you can practice. So Pistol 1 is really designed to do that. It is everything from what the rules are, what your mindset should be, how to actually do the shooting, the aiming, the grip stance and sight alignment and sight picture. But it's also things like how to take your gun down, how to clean it, how to approach a shooting port with your gun for the first time, some general range etiquette that you can use on the range. So it's very low speed, but it's meant to be low speed for that new shooter so they can very comfortably get used to going to the range and taking some shots and getting some practice in. So that's coming up on the 16th of February.
It's also great for spouses and family members that may not be super comfortable bringing their gun to the range, without you. So think of it that way as well. After that,
you're very popular.
February 25th. February 25th, another pistol-mounted optic course. We frequently refer to it as red dot, but there are red dots, green dots, amber dots. There's all kinds of dots. So we're starting to call them within the industry as PMOs, or pistol-mounted optics. Shooting handguns with pistol-mounted optics is a bit different from shooting handguns with iron sights. This will teach you all the fundamentals. It'll teach you how to present that gun quickly and find the dot every time. So it's a wonderful course. It's half day. It's 4 hours. It's probably 200 rounds, maybe 250 rounds of ammo. And of course, we're doing it in late February, so it'll all be on a indoor range with some warmth.
Bob hates to be cold.
We'll call it, I hate
to be cold.
I hate being cold. All right, so that's what's going on in the next couple of months, or at least the next 6 weeks or so. We'll have another video for you in probably in February.
There you go.
Got
And-
some questions for me?
We do. We have questions from them for you. Are there brands of pistols that you would recommend people stay away from or just not recommend?
So that's a good question. Brands to stay away from. Yeah, I mean, there are some very low end firearms. If it's a range toy, get what you want because you're not counting on it to potentially save your life or someone else's life. If it's a gun that you're going to keep for home defense or a gun that you're going to carry, it should be one of the common, more popular kind of middle to high end guns. So things like Smith and Wessons and Glocks and
CZ.
CZs. There's a lot of them. There's a few to stay away from. What I've told some of my clients in the past is if you can only afford a $250 gun, let's either pick one that we hope is going to be very reliable and test it, or let's wait a couple of months. Can you put away another $50 this month and another $50 next month so that we can get you into that level of gun that we're going to know is 100% reliable? So, without naming brands of guns I don't recommend, there's definitely guns that I don't recommend.
I agree. And not all, just because a gun is inexpensive does not mean that it is not reliable. And just because a gun is expensive does not mean it is reliable.
Right.
So I think we don't want to, people have always purchased stuff and they've modified their gun to either good results or bad results. So I think that's probably more of the error that happens with different brands. People have modified their gun somehow and then it doesn't work as well anymore as the manufacturer went. So that's probably more of the problem. Let's get on to question number 2, because this is a fascinating one that I didn't even know how to look up, but I did research on it because I had to. How many guns does the average gun owner have?
I have no idea.
That was exactly what my response was.
I'm going to guess, I'll guess 3.
Well, first of all, there's no way to actually know, right? There's just no way to actually know because a lot of places you don't have to actually register your firearms with your particular state and yada, yada, yada. So I went back. Now, this is from 2017. The Harvard School of Public Health did a survey. They found that it seems to be the average is 3. But
Harvard educated.
But the problem is,
Not really.
is that you can't say that the average gun owner owns 3. You can say that there is an average of gun owner for how many guns they own. But when someone buys a gun, they either get 1 or they get a whole bunch. So a fascinating thing they also found out was that 3% of gun owners own 50% of the guns in America, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
3% of gun owners own 50% of all the
I'm
guns.
pretty sure you and I are in that 3%.
I mean, I'm less than 100. But again, this is 2017, so it's not been updated, and this is just a school that did it back then. So I don't know if anyone's updated this, but interesting question, and it gives a little perspective on the folks that kind of get into this. All of a sudden, it becomes a hobby and a passion. It's much like I have a friend who goes surfing. And you would think maybe someone owns 1 or 2 surfboards. Not true. People that go surfing, they own like 70 surfboards. It's pretty crazy.
Well, I don't surf because as soon as you get in the water, you're no longer at the top of the food chain.
Last question. Should leather holsters be avoided? Are they no longer reasonable for concealed carry?
No, they're wonderful for concealed carry. It's just not my preferred holster. I like Kydex. I like the fact that there's no break-in time, no break-in period with Kydex. If you choose to use a leather holster for concealed carry, you're going to need several hundred draws and reinsertions to make sure that the holster is molded perfectly. And by the way, you can't do that off your body. You have to do it on your body, because once the holster is attached to your body, it changes shape a little bit.
Yeah, it changes the angle. Yeah.
Yep. So leather's cool if you like it. Personally, I've moved away from it.
I was talking before we started recording. I was talking to instructors Leslie and Jenny about it, and I was saying, in the last 10 years, maybe 15 years, plastic holsters, Kydex plastic holsters, have kind of come into a renaissance where they are a little bit better. I remember, in the early 2000s, my plastic holsters would crack a lot, and that was just frustrating because there really wasn't, Amazon was not as, prevalent in the world. You couldn't just get something shipped to you right away. You had to go out and actually, find a holster and find one that was fit to your gun, and it was molded perfectly. But it took time. So leather was just an easier option and more reliable. And I still use leather holsters.
Yeah, I know you do.
But nowadays, there's this renaissance. There's a lot of good holster companies out there. Show up to the round table, and we'll tell you which ones we use. Any final thoughts, sir, before we say goodbye?
Final thoughts? No, I'm good. Again, thank you for being a LifeSafe Training client. We have a alumni Facebook page. If you haven't participated in that, please feel free to go to Facebook, find the LifeSafe Training alumni page. As long as you've taken any kind of a course with us, you're eligible as a LifeSafe Training client.
Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.